Are you tired of selling your cards on eBay, creating the listing, taking the pictures, front, back, shipping, non-paying bidders? Let the pros at Fanatics Marketplace do all of the work for you. I do. That's why I use Fanatics for my vaulting and for my selling. If you've got a bunch of unwanted inventory that you've been sitting on for days, weeks, months, years, ship it to Fanatics Marketplace and let them do all the work. Just make sure when you ship it, you use the promotional code Cajun, all capital letters, CAJUN, and tell them that Cajun Cardboard sent you, and let the pros do the rest at Fanatics Marketplace.
All right, guys, today is going to be a great video. It's about one of the greatest Michael Jordan cards ever made, the Michael Jordan 1997 Metal Universe Precious Metal Gems Green. 10 were made. There is some conjecture that there may only be 9 in existence, but that's what today's video is about. This is going to be sort of an explore the card episode, but there's so little data on these PMG greens and there's so few sales that I can't go into too much detail. We're just going to kind of jump from tab to tab on my screen share and then just sort of kind of talk through this card that all of us would love to have. The dilemma has been presented to many of the high-end Jordan collectors out there. Would you trade your whole collection for a Michael Jordan PMG green? And some people are like, hell yes, I would do it in a second. And then some people, notably Josh Dawson, myself, even though the value may exceed the value of our personal collections, not Josh's but mine, I would still say no, because it was so much fun to get here. And while the PMG green is an irreplaceable card in and of itself, getting back to this point in my personal Michael Jordan collection is also irreplaceable. It's just a funny dilemma that's out there. It's been presented. It's always a nice hypothetical to talk about. Let's look at the card. All right, let's get going. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I think the PMG red looks better than the PMG green. I don't say that because I own the red. I don't own the green. Trust me, I would trade my red for the green in a heartbeat because of how much it matters, obviously. And of course, the value is, inordinately greater for the green card. But I think the red just presents better because it's color match. And then the PSA red label is, just phenomenal. So this is what the card looks like. Everybody who's anybody should have at least at one point seen this card somewhere in an article or in a fairy tale or something like that. This is all you have to work with on the Card Ladder website, folks. We've got 5 sales of this card in history, and usually we work our way to the present, but I want to work our way backwards. Let's start with the most recent sale of 915. Based on that sale, that was in December of 2020. And it was on Heritage Auction, believe it or not. It was a PSA authentic copy, not authentic altered, but authentic copy, and it was on Heritage. There is the actual card with cert number 733. If we go back to Card Ladder, that was a $915,000 sale. The sale before that was Nat Turner's purchase off of PWCC, what is now Fanatics Collect, my affiliate partner, and that was for $350,000. Then you work your way back, that's about a third, right? And then you work your way back to 2015, it sold for $91,000. And then you work your way back to these two that are going to make you sick to your stomach, where the card sold for $5,000 twice in quick succession. So here's your graph. It's really hard to see, but trust me, there's 2 dots back here at the beginning. There was a 2007 sale for $5,300. There was a 2007 sale for $5,877. Then there was a $91,000 sale in 2015, which is a little bit before I got back in the hobby. Then $350 was the Nat Turner purchase, and then $915 was the purchase in December of 2020. Again, there's the Heritage. It's authentic. The purchase by Nat Turner was actually authentic altered, and so it's not a perfect apples to apples comparison to compare the 2019 versus the 2020. Yeah, it went up 3x or around 3x, approximately, a little bit less than, but that was going from authentic altered to authentic. Now there is some assertion out there, and I'm going to read a little bit to you. This is the old school the old school PWCC website description when the card actually sold back in 2019 to Nat Turner. Again, you can look at the card. It's got great definition. The back looks absolutely phenomenal. It's card number 6 out of 100, but we know that the first 10 were green for most of the players. Not all the players, believe it or not. Some of the players, it's not the first 10 digits are the greens. Some of the players are different. I know that from collecting the red set. But this green's a little bit beat up on the right and a little bit up on the top right corner. But all in all, it's a pretty damn good condition. Trust me, I've held a lot of PMG reds in my hand. Greens are similar to the reds as far as their volatility and friability and just like delicate nature from the foil surfaces. And this is actually in pretty good condition. This is certainly in as good or better condition than my PMG red, which is a BGS 8. So here's what it says. Remember, whenever you've got a card like this, sometimes you get what? Special bidding rules. 7-day only auction event. Only approved user IDs. You've got to call in to get approved. They may vouch. They may get vouches on you. They may do due diligence. They may contact people that will stand up for you and tell them that you're legit. Feast your eyes upon this once-in-a-lifetime offering, the granddaddy of all parallels, the 97 Metal Universe PMG. If you're lucky, you might see this card once in your life, let alone have the chance to acquire it. Even the most novice of Michael Jordan investors understands the extreme rarity and fragility of this card. The precious metal gems were available as base foil parallels in the 1997 Metal Universe basketball production. I wanted to focus on this word. There's a word down here. It says, where'd it go? As the modern card market. Stay with me, because I like to use big words. I try my best to kind of expand my vocabulary and grow as a human being and expand on my vernacular. As the modern card market matures, the importance of these foundatory, I've never ever heard that word in my entire life, issues such as the 1997 PMGs only continue to rise. Yes, the market is maturing back in 2019, and yes, the price is rising. We know it rose. Here's where we start, right? Let's go back. This is the 1997 Metal Universe set. I know this set very well. It's a 125 card set. There is a checklist number 124, a checklist number 125. Those cards do not have PMGs. Listen to the inserts that come out of this 1997 initial Metal Universe set. Right? Because 97 Metal Universe came out before 97 Metal Universe Championship, which came out obviously before 1998 Metal Universe. There's your 3 Metal Universe products. The Planet Metal came out of here, 97 Planet Metal. The Platinum Portraits came out of here. And then the Titanium came out of here. All 3 of those are super, super popular and very valuable inserts. And all 3 of those insert sets feature the one and only Michael Jeffrey Jordan. There are only 2 parallels. Well, I say that. There are only... Well, the Reebok bronze, gold, and silver are, I think, technically, theoretically, parallels as well. They're insert parallels, but there are 2 main parallels that have tremendous value. Let's just put it that way. The PMG greens, which are called emeralds, and then the PMG reds, which I've heard people call rubies, but then it gets really confusing because we know there's star rubies, and stuff like that, right, from Skybox. But let's just call them PMG greens and PMG reds. That's what most people call them. So the PMG greens, there's only 123 of those. There's only 123 of the reds. There's no checklist PMGs for 124 and 125. So that leaves 123 players, some of the greatest players that have ever played the game. We know Jordan's in there. We know the Jordan card and what it looks like because we just looked at it right there. So there's your history of where the card comes from. 97 Metal Universe. Boxes of 97 Metal Universe are exorbitantly, preposterously expensive. In fact, we can look at that on Card Ladder as well. Box, is that going to come up? That's not going to come up for some reason. Maybe sealed? Maybe it's just not going to come up. Oh well. All right, I was going to try to look that up. Can't say I'm not spur of the moment, seat of the pants. Here we go. Let's look at the pop reports, okay? So you're going to see on here, precious metal gems is going to be your reds, right? There's your red PSA pop report for the precious metal gems. And here's your PMG greens for PSA for the pop report. Only 6 have ever been graded. We know there's an authentic. We know there's an authentic altered because we just looked at them. It was the 2 most recent sales. And then somewhere a couple years ago, if I recall, and I probably should have done more research and pulled this up so I could share pictures with you, one gentleman, again, I don't want to call somebody's name out, so we're going to say his name starts with a B, but I don't want to mispronounce it, and I'm not even sure about it, so I don't want to guess here. But one gentleman happens, I think, to have submitted 3 to PSA at a time, 3 in one submission, and I think they came back I might be wrong, but I think they came back 6, 6.5, 6.5. It might have been 5, 6.5, 6.5, or it might have been 5, 6, 6.5. I can't remember. I'm sorry, but it was 3 out of these 4 right here. You can see there's a PMG green 5, and there's a PMG green 6, and then there's 2 green 6.5s. He has 3 of those 4. So that accounts for the whereabouts of 6 of the PMG greens out of the 10 that were manufactured. Now, I remember an old wives' tale, an old folklore in the hobby. I heard it maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and I've heard it a couple times since then at different intervals, that somebody pulled one in a shop, and for some reason, somehow, some way, it got destroyed. So that led me a little bit down this rabbit hole, where on an old forum, it says, apparently someone pulled a 1997 metal PMG green Jordan. And then it says, so apparently what someone on the Beckett basketball forums has said somewhere has pulled a 97 Planet Metal PMG green Jordan 1 number to 100. This is from 2014. So this is 10 years ago. This is a decade ago, fellas and ladies. Those that aren't familiar with this set, they are numbered to 100. 90 of them are red, 10 are green. They are very rare and sought after for high-end Jordan collectors. Has anyone heard about, or do they know more about this? Listen to some of these responses, and this is just so precious, for lack of a better word, right? PMG greens, these are precious observations and comments. What boxes are these found in? I'd like to pick up a box and give it a shot. Like, it was actually a possibility in 2014. You could go buy a 97 Metal Universe box. I think these are around 35 grand. I don't know why I have that price in mind. In fact, let's just go in here. Let's go see if I can figure this out. 1997 Metal Universe box, basketball, BBCE. Let's see if something comes up, guys. No, nothing comes up. Let's take out BBCE. Metal Universe Championship. Let's put minus championship in there. Let's see what comes up. Whoop. There's no K in championship. No. Let's put the word sealed in here. See what happens. Bang. Here we go. Metal Universe box, Series 1, hobby box, $23,000. So in May, one of them sold for $23,000. I knew I wasn't crazy. Here we go. Here's a 24-pack hobby box, Series 1, that sold in March for $34,465. So 20,000 before that, 29,000 before that, 34,000. So you're talking about, you know, a pretty nice little mid-sized BMW to buy a 97 Metal Universe box. And so, but back then people could open it. Now it gets even better. Here's another comment by Ripken Fan 126. One of the Facebook sites I like. The guy that pulled it actually posted a picture. I just looked for it, but I can't find it. It was a really cool looking card. I figured it was short print, but I didn't know how many were made. Is that a Skybox release? Yes, it's 97, 98 Skybox Metal Universe. Most people just leave it out. I'm not 100%, but I think they were only available in hobby boxes. Metal Universe is a really cool product with unique base cards and awesome inserts. He got that right. I am a big fan of all the 90s stuff, but they're a real gamble. Most of the boxes, the cards are stuck together. Bricking is what we call it. Never buy unopened that isn't factory sealed. Lots of people crack a box, open packs, and then they put them back. Yes, that's true. We've seen that happen many times with Pokemon and other stuff. That's easily. This is CD's Nuts. CD's Nuts. First of all, what an awesome name, CD's Nuts. And he posts, that is easily a $25,000 pull, maybe even $50,000 or more. That's easily, and then in response to that, I guess the owner had it up on eBay and it was at 60, but it ended early because a private deal got done and it got sent to PSA. This is Mr. Near Mint. You guys probably don't remember, but a BGS 9.5 red Jordan sold for $40,000 a year ago. However, a short while after, the same card sold for less than $20,000. Isn't it funny to take a time machine back only 10 years, right? And listen to some of the values that are being thrown around. Like, we're panicking because values are down from 2022 for a lot of cards. But it's funny to kind of go back and laugh about this. Wow, that's a nice hit. What did the guy have to pay for the box? $300. There's one on BBCE for $295 right now. You could go open a box of 97 Metal Universe. Wouldn't that be amazing? Wow. Anyway, that's it, guys. I just kind of wanted to share that with you. But really, the real question is, let's go back to the 1997 Metal Universe green. I want to show you what. Here we go. Here's the card. There it is. Let's pull up the page. Card Ladder estimates with a very low confidence meter, because remember, we haven't seen one sell in 4 years, $1.63 million. So my question to you guys out there, this is my question to you guys. $350 for the authentic altered in 2019. $915 in 2020. This is pre-explosion. This is post-pandemic. It's sort of in the middle of the pandemic, but before the first quarter bubble. So the question for you guys is, what is this card worth today? Card Ladder says 1.63 million. I want to know what you guys think. I think without any hesitation, if this card, one of the 5s, 6s, or 6.5s shows up, I think that card's going for somewhere between 2 and 3 million. I don't think it would get over 3 million. I think it would go for somewhere between 2 and 3 million. That's my personal opinion. It is possible. I have spoken with some people. I talked to some guys in Cleveland. They weighed in and they said that they know for a fact that it would go for more than 3 million because that has been turned down already by the owners of those cards. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just passing along some of the stuff that I hear, some of the scuttlebutt, some of the hearsay. So I want to know what you guys think. What would the PMG Green sell for in August of 2024? I think there's a lot of folks out there with a lot of money. They may not be able to whip out $3 million out of their tube sock when they're playing pickup basketball and hand it over for PMG Green. But the way the hobby's changed now, you may get 3 or 4 guys, right, who have huge 7-figure collections who really know that we may not see this card again until 2034. If this thing came out in 2024, or we may never see it again, knowing that one gentleman owns half of the world's population in PSA slabs. And if it did come to market in a PSA 5 or a 6 or 6.5, I think maybe 3 or 4 may come together and pool almost like a fund to go out and purchase this thing. Let me know if that sounds crazy to you. But if somebody approached me and said, hey, if you give me $500,000, you can buy a third or a fourth of the PMG Green, I would at least look at it. I would at least think about making some incredibly big sacrifices of the cards that I have to just get a piece of the card. I don't really like owning stuff in division with people. I do own a couple cards in division with people. I don't really love it. You never feel like you have closure. And any of you guys out there who have ever bought cards, halvesies with a buddy or something like that, if you ever felt like that, let me know if you agree with me. I don't really like it as much. You don't have that feeling where you could just move in and out of it at your leisure. You always got to talk about it with somebody. But I might consider it for a card that's this special. So I want to know what you guys think this card would sell for if it came to market. Over or under, let's just set it at 2.5. 2.5 is the number for a PSA 6, one of the PSA 6s. Let me know what you think, guys. And as always, I appreciate you guys watching. This was not much of an Explore the Card episode. It was more like Guess the Card episode, or here's what little we know about the card episode. But I hope you guys enjoyed this little stroll down memory lane. It is kind of sad to know that if we'd have just kind of forked over 10 grand, we could have 2 PMGs right now. We could be like the gentleman who owns 3 of these for about 10 grand about 10 or 12 years ago, or about 20 years ago. Wouldn't that have been something? Thank you guys for watching as always. Hope you have a great weekend. Keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby. And peace.